Hello and welcome back to our channel for another cake decorating tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make some very quick and simple but effective rose leaves. They're using our brand new rose cutters, two lovely big sizes as you can see and you'll see in the video, and they are in fact ones that I'm going to use in our brand new class for making sugar roses. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Do check out the class, and remember you can find all the tools and equipment that I use and our colours and books on our website www.immaculateconfections.co.uk. So yeah, that's our flower paste, also on the website. And I am going to pop some of our leaf green colouring in it. So it's a really good colour for leaves, hence the leaf green. And I will be fairly liberal because we do want a deep colour for our rose leaves, but I am not going to be too liberal with it for two reasons. So the first one is a little goes a long way. And you can always add more, but you can't take it away. And as always, and this is true with any sugar paste, be it sugar paste for covering cakes, if it's flour paste, if it's modelling paste, anything, too much colouring in it and you're going to change the consistency. So for all the gel and paste colours, they're not liquid, it's not going to, there is moisture in there, so you don't want to add too much. So don't overcolour it, and we will also then use the dust. So as I like to say, let the dust do the work. So that is about the right colour. So I've got a couple of questions. So Elaine says she's just ordered some. Thank you very much. I hope you love it. Lee says it's amazing. Thank you, my dear. And I know I need to email you back. I'm really sorry. We said we would do that and then just sort of didn't. Yes.
Yes. No.
Because somehow it's Sunday already. And Faye, so it does stay flexible for a little while. It's not flexible, so it is not one of these flour pastes that remains complete flexibility, but it doesn't go completely brittle, so that means that your flowers don't shatter when you're trying to arrange them. And certainly, like today, you can see here there is a little bit of wibble on things because it is so humid. Remember that you can always pop things into the oven to help them dry. You can add a little bit of extra Tylo CMC or gum trag to help that. And we have in fact got an article on our website, which Chris might be able to go and find for us.
Yeah.
That goes through all the different ways that you can help with humidity, because it's a pain. And it depends on the weather, it depends on your house, it depends if you've got a dry house or a damp house. And as always when we say that, it's not damp as in sort of phone the insurance company damp, but it's just, especially in the UK where we've got, the whole of Europe actually, older buildings that will be...
Sometimes people do silly things to houses to make it worse as well.
Well, there is that. But yeah, so not damp as in a phone the insurance company, but just, not a bone dry new build, all the rest of it. So yes, if Chris finds that...
I just got it there now.
I'm just going to pop a little bit of corn flour on there because it is sticky, I am sticky, everything is sticky because it is warm, because I'm a bit overexcited. And yes, so I had a lovely phone call from a lady in Wales yesterday, I think, was Saturday, talking about the flour paste, Mary, for exactly that reason, that someone had recommended it to her because it is soft out of the packet, which means if you have got sore hands, be it arthritis or anything else, you don't have to break your fingers trying to get that initial kneading it, which is nice because some of them out there, they are incredibly stiff and it's not an easy job to get them soft enough to use. So yeah, and said that I don't know if she has actually, I have to have a look, but said to her by all means come join the group, because we've a number of ladies who, people, not just ladies actually, but yeah, for various reasons, be it arthritis or other complications, adapted methods, so it's easier for you to do things, and we're always happy to figure that out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Between us all. Sorry, that went off on the right tangent. Okay, so I've rolled out 2 bits. You can see nice and thin, not super mega thin because we're doing leaves, but nice and thin. And we're gonna, in the normal way, and you can see they come out beautifully, which makes me very happy. So 2 little leafy shapes. For my rose leaves, I always keep it really simple. Really, really simple. So I shall pop these onto my petal pad, and you can see just with like no effort, there's just these lovely clean cuts, which is good. And the ferns are the same, and I'm sure there will be more in the future. So if there's anything that you guys especially want cutter-wise, do let us know, because as always, we are, you know, led by you guys as much as anything else. So I'm just gonna quick whiz around the edge with my ball tool just to soften it more than anything else. Not too firm because we don't want to make it frilly, and you can see I'm using a fairly large ball tool to do this. Neve, yes, these are indeed the new cutters. These are rose leaves, and we've got the ferns as well. And then I'm just going to use a couple of bits of wire. So you could go for 26 or 28 gauge on these. I've got 26 here just because they're a bit bigger and I just want a bit of support for them. And you could absolutely use dark green wires. I didn't have any in 26 and was, to be honest, too lazy to go outside and get some. So we're doing it with some Nile green. We are going to make a little twiddle on the ends of our wires. So I shall just wet the end of the wire there, make a little sausage, and then I'm just going to insert this in and then just twist and twiddle the paste down the wire. So this is how I like to do it, going downwards. If you prefer, you can also pop it on your petal pad and do it like that, which I know we have lots of folk who do this way. And you can also, and I'm terrible at this, really useless at doing it this way, but you can also push the paste on and then twist it up. And I'm honestly hopeless at doing this, but I know people who do this with success. So like I always say with the twiddles, it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get to the end, you're all good. Yeah, I hate doing it upwards. It's funny, isn't it? Just different hands doing slightly different things. So Gina, yes, absolutely. They'd be perfect for dahlia leaves. You could use them hydrangea leaves. Sunflowers have serrated leaves, don't they? So anything that wants a bigger serrated leaf even,
yeah,
would be grand. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of water on there and just position my leaf on top. And I will do the same with this one, like so. And then give it a nice firm press with my veiner. So you can see, that's it. They're like match made in heaven, size-wise. You know, by design. And then we will just go around that edge again with the ball tool to just give it a little bit of shape back. And then last but not least, little pinch at the bottom, and we can just twist that into a neat edge. We can give him a little bit of shape, a little bit of twist, and then I'm just going to pop that in some polystyrene to dry. So it's up to you. You can either put them right way up to dry like this. Sometimes they will prefer to be hung, or sometimes they're best put onto like some bobble foam for the shape. And I shall do the same with this nice big one here. Again, we can give him a little bit of shape and just a little twist and a flick, because we always want our leaves to have movement. We don't want them to be sort of static flags. So yeah, I can see. So Neve, we've got lots of focus do on the pad. It's one of those things that it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just as long as you get there. And on the pad as well, you don't run the risk of squishing itself. Whereas if you do it on your hardboard, it will kind of just makes a bit of a mess. But yeah, on the pad does it. And it's one of those things that the more you do it, the quicker it gets, and it's just a really useful technique. Really useful technique. So that's our rose leaves. I have got some here that I made earlier. Have a little Blue Peter moment. They still do arts and crafts on Blue Peter. I assume they do. I mean, I haven't watched Blue Peter for what, like
I don't even know what
30 years or something. Does Blue Peter even still exist?
I'd imagine. I feel like I would know. I would have heard if it wasn't.
That's true. They must be on like their 15th golden retriever by now as well.
15th. Oh, they've got a lot of dogs in that programme.
Okay, so
For some reason I am Googling it.
the ones I made earlier. I've got a couple of big ones and then a couple of that sort of slightly smaller, big size. And we will dust those up. Got some deep green, and then we'll use either a bit of red, ruby red, or some burgundy. We'll see how we feel as we go. Chris, are you on TikTok? No, we are not on TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok.
Do you mean personally, or like is Immaculate Confections on TikTok? Because I tell you, the one thing this business does not need is another social media channel to keep on track of and produce content for. Because I can't cope with it. Right. So as always, we will take some of our dust, pop it on the paper, and it's almost like you're rubbing the dust into the paper. And the reason for that is that we want the dust to be distributed in the bristles instead of sitting on the bristles, so that we have control over where it's going. And then I'm just going to...
Blimey, 1958?
Yeah.
I know it was a long time.
Oh, a very long time. So with the brush sort of perpendicular to the edge, we're just bringing that colour in. And you can see, this is what I was saying about let the dusts do the work. So it's given us that lovely deep colour, but because we didn't over-colour our paste and we didn't saturate it too much, we've got a nice solid leaf. So I'm just going to do that with all of these. Jen, that's another really good point. There is a fly.
Yeah, it is. Big old bugger.
That, yes, if you're doing twiddles, nice soft paste, so fresh paste. So it's always tempting to make the twiddles from whatever is left after you've cut something out. I know, Catherine. And but yeah, and that's fine to a point. But the thing is, if your paste is too dry, then making twiddles will be really hard because you're just fighting against it in terms of not only rolling it out, but rolling it out into that nice slim shape and getting it to stick. So yeah, just round the edge with the deep green, like so. I do love the deep green. It's one of the first colours we did, wasn't it? And it was just, it's such a nice colour. It looks, well, you can see it here. I can say it looks almost black in the pot, but once it's on the paper there, you can see it's a really, really nice, practical, deep green shade. And I like, because I've got a fair old bit of shape in the leaves here, I'm dusting them in my hands. So you're sort of holding onto it with your thumb and middle finger and using your forefinger to support it behind, which is great because it means you don't crush them as you go. The downside is that you do end up with green fingers. Although never will anyone have fingers as green as our friend Dawn that time, who I swear she was like the Hulk.
What?
I think it was when we did the first CI thing.
Oh,
and yeah,
right.
It was just, yeah, I don't know how she managed it. There was just so much. What we're going to do now, actually, one other thing I'm going to do is, well, I've still got the green, I'm just going to whack a little bit of green dust onto those wires. Because like I said, I should have gone and got some dark green wires out of the
shed.
I was going to say the shed. The shed makes it sound really unofficial, but the warehouse isn't the right word either.
No, definitely isn't a warehouse.
It's a small warehouse, though. It's definitely more than a shed, though, isn't it? It's not like it's a garden shed with everything sitting in it.
Do I need to go get it done?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I'm just, adapt and overcome, as they say. We could just dust up the wires. There we go. And then we can pop, I'll start off with some red, but if we want it, I'll do a little bit burgundy. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of red on the edges, and it's going to give it that sort of slightly, stock cupboard's not right either though, because it'd be one hell of a big cupboard. I don't know. A little bit of red. It is going to blend with the green and give us a sort of slightly brownish tone. And you don't necessarily want to do it all the way around the edges. It's just sort of here and there. And you can see it's these short, repetitive brush strokes that blend the colour as it goes on.
Did you answer Jenny's question about dusting the one side?
So it depends entirely on what I'm doing. For something like this, where I'm showing you guys, and if they're going on a cake, I would only do. So the question was, do I only dust one side? And actually, so here's the design that will be in the thing. You guys are looking at sort of more or less the front of it there. I'm holding it at a weird angle because it's where cameras. Can't see the back. So to my mind, what's the need of dusting the back? You're just sort of spending time doing something that people aren't going to notice, and certainly customers wouldn't notice. It wouldn't even occur to them to look or query it. So no, for sort of commercial work, I don't bother dusting the back of things.
Unless it's going to be seen.
Unless it's going to be seen, exactly. Oh, Edwina, I like the room of requirement. Yeah, so the room of cakey requirement. I don't know. I don't go out there very much. It's your domain, isn't it?
Out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever I do, I'll be like, oh, it's so untidy.
It's not untidy.
Let's go for a little bit of burgundy as well. So it just gives it, and it's just a touch, as you can see, but it just gives that little extra bit of depth and dynamicness to our colours. And actually, for all that I've sat and said, like, oh, don't do it all the way around, it doesn't have to be in the same place, I have actually done the left-hand side of all those ones, so I'll do a little bit more on the right. And if you feel like you've gone too red, you can just blend back in with a little bit more green. But those there are our rose leaves. Now, the next question that someone will ask. It's very true. Okay, as long as Chris knows where the things are. You do always know where the things are. It's just...
No, this is absolute slander.
No, I said you always know where the things are.
No, you're implying I don't like it's a mess out there.
Well, it is sometimes.
It's not.
I don't know if it makes it better or worse, the fact that I'm not a terribly tidy person.
Julie's backing me up there. She's seen it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right, just clean my hands off a little bit. So the next question that someone will probably ask is, do I steam and or glaze my leaves and flowers? Now, I will steam and or glaze appropriate to the job in hand. So my flowers, absolutely not. And certainly for something like these big blousy roses, you want the subtlety of the colours that you get from the dusting and everything. You want them to be rich and velvety and so on, and not at all shiny. So no, I would not steam these, and I absolutely would not glaze the flowers. Foliage, occasionally I will steam or glaze them. For the rose leaves, like, you could steam them if you wanted to, because they do have a slight waxiness to them, I suppose, but I wouldn't glaze them because then they can come out too shiny. So yes, I tend to not. So on this occasion, I am not going to do so. So I've got some dark green tape, which I will trim down to, let's do some quarter width, and then I'll do some half width as well. I've got my little yellow box of doom. So it's tape shredder. We do have these as well, and they will they trim your tape for you. Just don't put your fingers in because there's razor blades in there and they are terrifying. So there is that one, and I'll do a bit of half as well. And so the first lesson for the, sorry, were you just typing that? For the roses is on the 18th.
I wasn't.
Oh, 18th of September. There we go. So I've got some half width and I've got some quarter width tape. So I shall take my 3 little big ones. I don't know what to call them. I'll attach the tape to one of them, bring it down a little bit, and then we're going to do one off to the left and one off to the right. And the trick with these is, as you can see I've done there, is to bring it far enough down that you've got a bit of space for it to be. If it's too far up, you're not going to get quite the right shape. Now, technically, in nature, they grow exactly in opposite pairs like that. However, I tend to offset the second one just a little bit because I think it looks better. And this is one of those things, like, we are creating sugar flowers and sugar art, so one can absolutely, you know, take a few liberties and so on in terms of the shape and design of things. So that's that one. And then these other two, so my big ones, I should do as a little pair. So again, I'll attach the tape to one of them, bring it down, and then little kink in the wire there so that the second one can sit and sort of overlay a bit like so. And we'll just wrap that tape round. There we go. And then let me move all this stuff out of the way. There's always so much stuff. Actually, it's really not fair for me to accuse you of being messy, is it? Given that
No,
I am
it's
the
not.
chaos goblin.
Otherwise, I will pan that camera.
Don't you dare. Right. So I've got one of the large roses. So this is the larger one that is in the class. Big, beautiful, blousy thing. I will attach the tape to the stem there. And then what we'll do is just bend that back so that they can sit with the rose. As I said, the leaves aren't the main event, but they are very much the backing singers, and I do think that they help the flowers to put their best feet forward. So again, this one with the 3, you can sit sort of down here. So I'll tape that on. And of course, because they're wired, the leaves, we can sort of adjust their precise position. I lost my words there. Debbie, that is an excellent question. No, you don't need new rose cutters. It is our good old rapid rose ones. So it is, these are made with an adaptation of the rapid rose method. So you're going to want your rapid rose pad and you're going to want your 5 petal cutters. I think we use 5 out of the 6 sizes. So yeah, no, it's not new kit in that sense. It's just a slightly different method. And there we have, as you can see, lovely Rose, complete with her backing singers of the foliage. And she's just, for context, like, there's my hand. It is a lovely big jobby. So yeah, they're just, yeah, there you go. So you can, it's nice, and I've just got a little bottle with some So in the bottom of it, okay, he wants to go that way. It's they're like glass pebbles that I bought on Amazon, like little things.
Glass beads.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just because they're clear glass, you can't really see them, but they're just handy for making little things like that, a bit weightier. So if you've got stuff you want to display. So yeah, there we go. And I've got green hands. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. They're pretty, aren't they? And just the perfect pairing to your sugar roses. Do check out the class. For all your tools and stuff, you'll find them on our website, immaculateconfections.co.uk. And don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future videos. See you soon.